He says, and who is a sadhu? That's the question I'm asking today, basically. Who is a sadhu? A sadhu is not just an ordinary man with a saffron robe or a long beard. That's the kind of externals that we're talking about. Oh, he's got a nice beard. This must be a very wise person. Maybe they don't have access to a razor, you don't know. What is a sadhu? A sadhu is described in Bhagavad Gita as one who unflinchingly engages in devotional service. Can anybody quote that question?
Yeah, I want to ask, how do you know a person has unflinching faith in Krishna?
That is primarily what we're going to do with today. We're going to get to that. That's a good question. So first we ask, who's a sadhu? Who's a saintly person? Prabhupada says a devotee, engaged in unflinching devotional service. Now how do we know what that is? We'll come to that. But first we're establishing the point that they have to be a devotee. Prabhupada says, a sadhu is described in Bhagavad Gita as one who unflinchingly engages in devotional service. Even though one is found not to be following strictly, rather not to be following the strict rules and regulations of devotional service, if one simply has unflinching faith in Krishna, the supreme person, he is understood to be a sadhu. What verse is Prabhupada referring to in Bhagavad Gita? Patience of you've done? No, not quite. Like if you... Yes, that was the first verse. Yeah, and the rough translation.
Even if a person is engaged in the most abominable activities, if they are fixed in devotional service, then they're considered a sadhu, if their determination is fixed.
Right. Bhajate mam ananyabhav. There's that one again, undeviating in devotional service. Bhajate mam ananyabhav. No other concern. Maybe they're not perfect yet, but their real focus, their drive is to be just devoted to Krishna. Prabhupada continues, sadhu eva samantavya. A sadhu is a strict follower of devotional service. So that's the definition of a saintly person. Those are the persons we follow. Now, how do we identify devotees? Just a little more support for the point that we actually have to associate with them. I found this other verse purport from Srila Prabhupada from 4911. Transcendental devotional service cannot be complete and cannot be relishable without the association of devotees. We have therefore established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Anyone who is trying to be aloof from this Krishna Consciousness society and yet engage in Krishna consciousness is living in a great hallucination. For this is not possible. So Prabhupada establishes there that our Krishna Consciousness Society is established to facilitate devotional association. A point he makes again in the Nectar of Instruction, we'll talk about more tomorrow, when we talk about how to actually associate. And he says that one who is aloof from the Krishna Consciousness Society, which means one who is aloof from devotee association and thinks they can advance in devotional life, is living in a great hallucination. For this is simply not possible. So crystal clear. Okay. Now, we'll approach this topic of who is a devotee in stages. First of all, Lord Chaitanya, appearing as he did in a certain time and place, he was aware of the tendencies of living entities to, for example, categorize saintly persons within material designations only. That was a contemporary problem, and it's a problem now. Somebody says that only Indian-born Brahmana, or only somebody born in a devotee family, somebody born in this particular family line. There are devotees in our line who say that because we are, for example, in our family, we're from the line of Lord Nityananda, therefore we're advanced devotees, we're Goswamis, and others are not. This tendency crops up again and again. So he went out of his way, Lord Chaitanya did, to address this point. So a devotee can be found in any material position. Can anybody think of a verse that supports this? Yes. It's okay, I find a really good verse. This is one of my favorites. This is from the 8th chapter of the Madhya Lila, text 128. Lord Chaitanya is speaking to Ramananda Roy. And by the way, Ramananda Roy was a Shudra, if I'm not mistaken, right? Bhagavad was a Shudra Grahastra. And according to the externals of Varnashram, the relationship between a Brahmana, sannyasi, and a Shudra Grihastha would be quite superficial. But they were very, very closely related because, of course, their devotional relationship is quite deep. But without getting into all the details of that, he speaks around Lord Chaitanya Das. He says, Kiba Vidra, Kiba Nyasi, Shudra Kenana, Jai Krishna Toto Veda Shek Guruhai. What to speak of the devotee? Anybody who actually has knowledge of the science of Krishna, whether they're a sannyasi or Shudra or anything in the Varnashram system, they can act as a guru. They can actually instruct others in how to be devotees. If they actually understand the science of Krishna, they're not just a devotee, they're an advanced devotee. So they can be found in any ritual position. This is our preamble. So we can't look for the symptoms of a devotee according to our material conceptions of life. We can't look for color, we can't look for height, we can't look for physical attractiveness according to any of these conceptions that materialistic minds really revolve around. Nectar of Instruction Text 6 points this out, that you can't judge you should never see a devotee according to the mundane vision that we may have, according to our conditioning. Because just like the Ganga can be filled with so many things, but is still pure, and anybody who's actually devotionally advanced will just go in there and sweep away whatever garbage and refuse and corpses or Ganges, and they'll actually honor that as a holy river. Similarly, in any material form, male, female, old, young, eastern, western, northern, southern, it doesn't matter. The devotee can appear. So we have to be prepared to be detached from our own pre-existing material conditioning, which maybe is there. It takes some shape or another, but it is there for a conditioned soul to have material conditioning and view persons according to our attachments and virtues. And the Shastra is saying emphatically, Lord Chaitanya is saying emphatically, don't do that. That's not going to help you identify devotee. If you can't identify devotee, you can't even get to the next point of asking how to associate with them. So, how to recognize devotees? They're recognizable by symptoms that are clearly given in Shastra. And this point that symptoms are all important is given to us by Narada Muni. Yasya la lakshanam proktam poksa varnapi ganchakam. Hiranitram drishya tatena vinirishya. 7:11:35. That wherever you find a symptom of something, that's where you find that thing. Even if it's in a different apparent category. So you have to know what the symptoms of the thing are. So what are the symptoms of devotees? All right. First of all, one point is that the symptoms of devotees are sometimes given, there are different kinds of symptoms that are presented in Shastra. Some are very esoteric. For example, a very advanced devotee is awake to their relationship with Krishna in one of 5 rasas. And they're engaged in devotional service to them internally in one of these rasas. So, in the Gurvashtakam verse 6, there are some symptoms of the advanced devotee guru that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is pointing out. What is the 6th verse to the Gurvashtakam? Anybody remember? A few hours ago? Nico's, you're going to sing it for us. Somebody recite it for us. You don't have to sing it. It's optional. Somebody recite the verse for us, please.
Nikunjayuno Dikedi Sidya Yaya Yukti
To Vikshaniya.
Vikshaniya
Tatraksha.
Traksha Tibala Pasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarandam.
Okay, and what is the rough translation? What does that mean? What are we honoring?
It means that the guru is very expert in assisting the gopis. And I think that's the gist of it.
Yeah, it's just, but they're expert in assisting people because, arrange the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. This is very esoteric. So, on the one hand, we have the things we can automatically tell about somebody, the very, very mundane things, and the Shastra is saying, don't judge by that. On the other hand, as sadhakas, we cannot understand who is confidentially serving Radha and Krishna in the groves of Vrindavan very expertly, right away. Right? Is it just me? No, it's not just me. Right? So that's there. Those kinds of symptoms are there in Shastra. But there are more practical symptoms for us to look at our level as sadhakas, trying to understand who's a devotee. So we should focus on the measurable and perceivable symptoms of devotees. We heard about Adhichesuduracharo from Bhagavad Gita 9:30, that a devotee, a sadhu, a sainted person, is qualified as such because they have the desire to please Krishna and have a full faith in his devotional service, even if they're not perfect yet.